Hello, welcome back to Learn Economia. Today we are going to discuss a famous topic that is Sen's Capability Approach. I have already done videos on Sen's Capability Approach, but this video is specifically something which deals with the application of Sen's Capability Approach. So let's get started. Now, as we all know, coming to the capability approach, it is actually a contribution made by the very famous Nobel laureate Amartya Sen, who is an Indian economist. So, the concept of capability, this has got a wide range of uh, character when it comes to both global and local levels, but we have to understand the realization of this concept. This is something which depends on the specific local requirements of the state. So if you take an example, you can see that the very same capability can be understood in different terms. For example, the same capability to be well nourished would be compared for different age group. It could be compared with people with different health standard. For example, coming to the aspect of well nourishment and age, the kind of nourishment that you can have for children is different from that you should have for old people, and this is not same as the kind of nourishment that we can have for the middle age category. I'm not talking about the basic standard, but coming to the usual scenario. Okay, so this is something which makes the capability applicable across political, economic, as well as cultural borders. And Sen was pointing out that being relatively income poor in a wealthy society, this would entail absolute poverty. And this is in some important capabilities. And he says that this happens because they may require more resources to attain. And also the capability when it comes to employment, this would require more years of education. And this is especially seen in richer society. Many capabilities will have some underlying requirements that will vary strongly with social circumstances. You take the case of an example, the ability to appear in public without shame. This is considered to be a capability, and this is something considered to be a capability that people might generally be said to have reason to value, but the requirements of the same would vary significantly across the cultural norms, and this may change from society to society, and this may change from different groups of each society. This may vary across gender, this may vary across class, this may vary across ethnicity, etc. And if you take the case of Saudi Arabia, we can see that women must have a company of a close male relative, and this is very important for her to be in public. And this require a private car to move between private spaces or something like that. So capability approach is something that leaves open whether such expensive capabilities are considered important enough to be guaranteed by society as a matter of justice, or should be met by making more resources available to those who need them. Or also we can consider this in terms of revising the social norms or revising the relevant social norms. This approach identifies such capability failures and also diagnoses the causes of the same. But we can say that if there is some general agreement saying that such capabilities should be equally guaranteed to all, then there is a clear basis for criticizing unjust social norms and also source of relative deprivation, and thus as inconsistent with the spirit of such a kind of guarantee. Capability approach would take a multi-dimensional approach for evaluation. It could be considered that people are generally well off, yet a closer analysis reveals that this all things considered, judgment conceals surprising shortfalls. And this is in terms of particular capabilities. For example, spotting a kid who can't read. Capability would be the kind of capability analysis in certain times we could see that it would be rejecting the presumption that unusual achievement in some dimension compensate for the shortfall which you have in others. Looking from the perspective of justice, this approach has got its relevance, and this is especially in terms of argument that people would be making if people are if they are falling short on particular capability that has been collectively agreed to be significant. Then in this case, justice would require addressing the shortfall itself rather than offering compensation in some other form. So capability evaluation is actually informationally demanding, and the precision of the very same is limited by the level of agreement about which functionings are valuable in the society. Sen has shown that even where only elementary evaluation of basic qualities is possible, this could provide much more and more relevant action guiding information than the standard alternatives. So he was saying that by making some contrast between success and failure, the capability approach can direct political as well as public attention, and this is what he was considering. Sen was considering. He was giving an example. He was just considering countries with similar levels of wealth that have dramatically different levels of aggregate attainment. And when it comes to inequality, we can see that there is some non-controversiality regarding some important dimensions like longevity, literacy, etc. And countries with very small economies can sometimes score as high on these kinds of dimensions, and they would become biggest. And this is what Sen was saying. This can demonstrate the limitations of relying exclusively on national metrics when it comes to evaluation of development. So such kind of analysis are very easily politicized. So that's all about today's discussion. I request you to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and you can be a part of my Telegram channel and Telegram group to discuss your doubts. Thank you.